So I got into contact with Tribaal Hockey and they sent me over one of their new range prototypes. When one of their sponsored players spoke to them about wanting to use a 38.5 inch stick, they agreed that just extending the handle didn't really give the right balance and performance that they were looking for. So they went back to the factory and started reworking the mould, composition and resin compound until they produced something they were really happy with. The result was this stick, being 38.5 inches long, weighing in at 540 grams with a balance point of 42 centimeters from the head of the stick. It has a 90% carbon compound featuring an extreme low bow profile with a maximum bow point 200 millimeters from the head of the stick. Also, throughout this review, although the stick brand name is actually pronounced Tribaal and comes from an Afrikaans and Dutch word for tribal, I will only mispronounce it, and so I am going to keep referring to it as Tribaal Hockey. Despite the longer stick, I found it was incredibly well balanced for dribbling. Tribaal have found a really nice balance between the ultra high stiffness of the stick with a slightly softer carbon wrapper for the top layer, giving a small amount of forgiveness in the first touch. Bear in mind that you still need to have soft hands or the ball will bounce off because it does still have that high level of stiffness. The extra length gave a fantastic reach when I was dribbling. It felt like I was gaining 20 to 30 centimeters onto my V-drags, taking the ball miles away from the defender's reach. The higher balance point cancelled out the extra weight of the longer stick, making it feel quick and controlled while on the ball. This gave me a great deal of confidence carrying the ball into under pressure situations. The extra reach was also fantastic for making interceptions, which is something I don't really talk about, but when it comes to the touch compound helping to trap the ball, it really was beneficial, especially when I was at full stretch and just able to catch onto the ball. So one thing I knew coming into this was that a longer stick would give me a longer lever, and so you get more hitting power. Even with that consideration, the stick could absolutely cannon the ball. The slight softness of the first touch was nowhere to be found when it came to hitting, and the sweet spot felt massive. The power transfer was fantastic as well. The XLB profile combined with that longer length took some adapting to, but once I had it reined in, I was able to ping the ball into the corners of the goal. When I was playing hit passes, it took some time to get used to keeping the ball flat to the ground rather than it skipping along the turf, but once I had made a couple of small tweaks, I was firing the ball onto the end of teammates' sticks. And the stick was also amazing for slap passes, with the high stiffness and that long swing, combined with the XLB profile, making it especially good for playing slider passes. When it comes to reverse hitting, the power transfer is a little bit higher than on the open stick. The Tribaal has a really thick square edge for reverse Tomahawk. This makes it very easy to fire the ball hard and flat consistently. This consistency makes you super confident taking the ball onto your reverse, whether it's firing a shot at goal or a pass to a teammate. The thickness of that reverse edge does make it slightly more difficult to lift the ball when you're taking a shot at goal, but with a little adaptation, you can easily get the ball to lift and accurately fire it into the top corner. This profile is designed to aid with flicking. This is one area where I was really intrigued to see how the 38.5 length would affect my game, but I found that it actually had very little effect. The extreme low bow profile made it very easy to get under the ball, with the dual channels on the back giving a nicely thinned lower edge, making it even easier to get the head of the stick under the ball. Because the stick is so well balanced, it made it great for controlling the ball in the air while executing 3D skills. Combined with the extended reach, it made it fantastic for executing a 3D V-drag and beating a defender in the air. When it came to playing lifted passes, I found it very easy to keep the ball under control, especially when throwing a short lifted pass over a couple of sticks to a teammate. The stick really shone when it came to shooting, with the extra reach giving a longer lever to generate power, combined with the accuracy granted by the touch compound holding the ball on the face of the stick. it gave me a huge amount of confidence when taking on shots at goal. Following on from flicking, the stick excelled when it came to overhead passing. The thin head makes it very easy to get under the ball, and once you have the ball on the face of the stick, you can easily make use of the bow to generate a great deal of power and add a lot of distance to your overheads. The extra length also adds to this by giving you a longer arc. This means it's very easy to launch the ball 50 meters down the pitch to a teammate. Because of the groove combined with the extreme low bow profile to generate power, you also have a lot of control over the angle, so you can throw the ball very high so it drops down very suddenly, or you can throw it low so it bounces into space with equal ease. I found that the touch compound also really added to the accuracy, giving me a great deal of finite control over the angle of release, meaning that I could throw the ball off to the right or off to the left to give a lot more accuracy dropping it onto a teammate's stick. So an extreme low bow profile with a groove was always going to have a great power generation. The longer lever through the 38.5 length allows the ball to travel even further through the drag and the flick, building up more power. The groove guides the ball nicely up and down the face of the stick, giving you a great deal of control as you accelerate through the drag phase. As the ball rolls back down the stick, it stops on the head of the stick, allowing you to push through, giving you fantastic accuracy and letting you utilise that great power generation. The shaping around the head makes it very easy to get under the ball, even at the lowest part of the drag flick. This makes it very easy to get elevation on the flick, making it great for launching the ball into the corners. I found to keep the ball flat, it was best to rock the head of the stick forward just a little bit. This keeps the ball pressed into the pitch all the way through the drag and makes it perfect for deflections as it keeps the ball glued to the turf. So I really enjoyed my time with the Tribaal stick. It had fantastic hitting power and was excellent for any time you wanted to lift the ball, be that drag flicking, overheads or just 3D skills. The added length gave fantastic reach and obviously added to the hitting power, which was also fantastic, but I don't want to take away from how hard the stick could hit even if you were to shorten the handle by dropping your hands a little bit down the stick. The stick also held up fantastically during testing. You could look at it now and with a good scrub I think you could honestly pass this off as a new stick, and I used this for an extended period of time because of the jump to the 38 size. I highly recommend looking up this stick for the excellent hitting power both on open stick and on reverse, as well as the fantastic drag flicking. It's a profile that has been refined, it has a fantastic groove in the shaft which is very usable combined with the extreme low bow to generate power and deception when you're drag flicking. Tribaal are an excellent brand and have been around for a long time, and it was fantastic to finally get my hands on one. As always, thank you very much for watching. If you can like the video, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel, it really helps. If you want to help further, you can head over to my Patreon or to my website and join as a member. You get early access, you get special bonus entries into giveaways, and you get a little look behind the scenes at what I've got coming up. I also have Boss F hockey t-shirts available for sale on my website. They're just fun hockey t-shirts that I've designed myself, and the money goes towards helping keep these reviews coming and keeping the site running. If you do buy one, any video that you post wearing one on social media I will repost onto my Boss F hockey account as well.